when the winter time comes and you bless us with your quiet and your growth time through our internal spirit. We ask you to look this way, White Wolf, as we look to you for the blessings that way. To the east, morning star that came and brought us the wisdom, Father, Son that rises over us, all things to the east that way. We ask you to look this way and give us your wisdom. Let us share with you the prayers that we bring to this sacred place called the Moon Palace. To the south, our relatives in the southern hemisphere, we bring this prayer to you as the warm winds come from the south and bring us the prayers that comes in the ways of growth that the warm winds bring to us. Above us, Wakantanka, Great Spirit, Moon Mother, Star Nation, Wings, all of you, look down on us, bless us, guide us, give us the way that we need to go forward so that we can become one again and live in harmony. Earth Mother, you that sustains us, you with the rooted nation, you with the blessings of giving us these bodies that we live in. You that gives life to all of us and sustains us. Forgive us for the wounds that have been gouged in you in the tar sands. Forgive us for the ways that these pipelines spill upon you. Forgive us for the degradation of your sacred blood, the water that you live us in, and bless us on this day so that we may go forward. For all of our relations, in all directions, we're asking for help and help through this way. We chosen we both ya. We tapadanga.
Thank you, Casey Camp. Thank you, Casey Camp from Ponca Nation. In a good way, I'm going to share a song now, and then we're going to get into our speakers. So please observe this song. So our first speaker that I'm going to invite to speak is Melina Lubacan Massimo, who's a climate and energy campaigner with Greenpeace Canada, but also a community member of the Lubacan Cree from northern Alberta. And her community has been affected by the tar sands in Canada. So Melina, I'll ask you to speak.
Tansakia, Nia Melina Miowapin Labakan Massimo, Nia Nihia, Kinaskumtana. It's good to be here down south, bringing the message of how the tar sands are impacting Indigenous communities in the north, and how this impact is going to be spreading across Turtle Island, into the south, and all across the world. The tar sands are the fastest growing source of greenhouse gas emissions in Canada, and it's one of the biggest emitters of toxic contaminants in our traditional territories. Currently, the tar sands take up huge swaths of land. They're contaminating the water sources. They're destroying the boreal, one of the last remaining pristine boreal forests in the world, the lungs of the earth, and as well producing byproduct every hour, every day. As Indigenous people are falling ill, getting sick, we have toxic lakes that are full of mercury, cyanide, lead, polyaromatic hydrocarbons, nymphenic acids. The list goes on of what these contain and how toxic these are and how close they are to the Indigenous communities in these territories. And not only that, we are talking about how this is going to affect the climate, how this is going to affect the globe, because Canada is refusing to meet its refusing to agree to any sort of binding agreement globally because of the tar sands. Because of the tar sands project in Canada, that is why Canada is a climate laggard and a climate criminal, because they are not meeting their Kyoto agreements that they have made, that are binding agreements. Indigenous peoples need to be respected. We need free, prior, and informed consent in our traditional territories. Projects like this should not be happening while we need to be addressing climate change. Projects like the tar sands need to stop. We need to shut down the tar sands, and we need to transition to renewable energy initiatives. And my question is, why is there not investment in renewable energy? The community that I come from still has no running water until this day. The community that I come from still has no running water in Canada, in an Indigenous community in Canada. How is that possible in what we think of as a first world country, and my community still goes without running water? And yet the industries in the oil and gas and the tar sands industries beside us still continue to withdraw water from our watersheds, and on the same note continue to contaminate these watersheds. This is very detrimental to the communities. We're seeing impacts health-wise, respiratory illnesses. This project needs to stop, and that's why we're here today, to spread the news of what the tar sands is doing in the north. Hi, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Melina Lubacan of the Lubacan Cree. We're going to travel north from northern Alberta to the Northwest Territories, Canada, where we'll have a young man whose grandfather was one of the original signatories of one of the internationally recognized legally binding treaties between First Nations people in Canada and the Canadian state. Daniel Tassili is a Dene man from Fort Good Hope First Nation. And so I'm going to invite him over here to say a couple words about how his community is affected by the world's largest and most destructive development, the